goes off. Yeah, we can talk about whatever.
Okay.
We'll just talk about whatever comes up. Let's see
Okay.
here.
That sounds good to me too. I love that. Let's just
All
flow.
right.
So,
Let me pull it up and let me give people a little bit of time.
okay. Yeah.
And then in the
Absolutely.
meantime, I'm going to tag the both of you
Okay.
on the
Sounds wonderful.
Facebook platform.
Okay. Yee. My drink. Did you got your drink? Did you get your drink, Queen?
My drink, yeah, I got smoothies and
Are they right there
water.
by you?
Right here.
Oh, good, good, good.
Yeah, I got my
You see
stuff.
my drink? You see my drink?
What do you have? Oh, your juice. I had my juice earlier today.
Huh?
Doom, doom, dee, doo.
There you go.
Mini Ripperton.
Okay, who's going to do Mini Ripperton? That's all I want to know.
What is it?
I
We can
remember
both do
listening.
it. I can do the low part. She can do the high part. I can do the high part.
Yeah.
She can do the low part.
I remember listening to, back in the day before we had the internet and everything. Okay, I tagged both of you. Let me just pull up the other platforms. But yeah, so that would have been like sixth and seventh grade for me. You know how before you had all that, you would have the radio next to your bed and you would listen to music, while you're falling asleep. And I can remember that song. That song was a great song. There's a lot of great songs back then, really.
Well, I was into the Captain and Tennille.
Oh yeah.
So,
love will keep us together.
Yeah,
love will keep us together.
Yeah,
and love muskrat love. Muskrat, serial thing. But something
no, I remember that.
in the city. It wasn't great, and we turned and we learned and we tango or whatever, singing a dance in a jangle, sounding like the heaven above. I used to love that part, and I had the turn. What you call them?
Turntable.
The turntable. Yeah, that's what I had. Yeah, my it was off the chain.
You had the vinyl.
I had the vinyl, baby.
Yeah, we have vinyls too. That's
my mother was oh God, she loved Dionne Warwick and Lou Rawls, and she was a professional opera singer, so she had all kinds of music in her repertoire.
Yeah. Yeah, I was a child of the 60s. So when 67, 68 hit, I was like, what, 5, 6, 7 years old. And all that music clashed. And one of my aunts was huge into Motown. And so I was like, one aunt was Motown, the other was, hippie rock, the other one was this, the other one was that. So yeah, it was a tremendous influence on me personally. So okay, let's formally roll this out. Soulogy's in the house. We got a new sister that we haven't met yet, Teri Page, who's a good friend of Pamela's. Pamela's been on before. I noticed we're going to talk about whatever we want to talk about, but I did notice when I went to try to get a picture of Teri for the promotion that you guys did a podcast the other day.
Many, so we've done
many. Okay,
yeah.
I didn't get a chance to go too deep with it, but I saw that y'all had done one recently, and I saw that y'all were doing that. So I just want to give you props for getting out there and doing and making it happen because
I told you that was my goal. Like how many years ago did I say that? I mean, to you, I don't think you really recognized me until one day it just like hit you on the head like a bomb. Boom. Pamela. I'm not sure. I'm just assuming. Forgiving me. I am just boo-boo. We need a picnic basket.
Oh, Boo Boo, yeah, and Yogi, yeah. I used to watch them cartoons.
We need a picnic basket.
Yeah, Mr. Ranger's not gonna like it.
I was checking that out on your end, but I grew up all Pentecostal Church of God in Christ, so I wasn't really introduced to music on the secular side until I was after 16. So I went through church, home, and school for 16 years of my life, but I was able to capture Captain and Tennille, and my mom liked Lou Rawls and, the women that were in the, what do you call Capitol Records, because she was singing with James Cleveland at the time. And so, so she was up in there, and my father was a recording artist. He was, saxophone player, all three. So my family was kind of in the music and they were in the church. And I was like, yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And just dealt with all of it. You know, I didn't choose it. I just came into it. I guess that was my contract, whatever. But I knew at 7, I knew at 12 when I died the first time. And I knew that first time when I died. And I got this plate in my head. I knew the first time, the first time, the first time when that sewer top dropped on my head, I knew. Whoa. And that was the same year that I got molested. That was the same year I received the Holy Spirit. And that was the same year that I spoke my first message at one of the biggest churches in San Diego, California, called St. Stephen's Church of God in Christ. So, I mean, I come from a background of impeccable people that, you know, even right now are dying off and their children are replacing them. And it's crazy because even Israelite Church of God in Christ in San Diego, California, you know, my mom and all my uncles and them, they were all in there playing the drums, being the minister, being the assistant pastor. My grandma was the mother Church of God in Christ all over the continent. I mean, you bring up Bertha Wilson anywhere, I still right now, and Bishop Blake and all them right now, everybody knows who they are. So it's crazy being the black sheep, the one that was awoke all the time but didn't know it. And then all of a sudden, when trauma hit you, you know, all down through the whole time, from the beginning, from the first time I came in my mom's womb, the trauma was there. That was a trauma because at first they wanted a boy. Then I was the only natural childbirth. And then I was dark. And all my sisters is your color as Teri.
Yeah, they are.
So I'm like, okay, here we go. With the ride this is a roller coaster. I love roller coasters. But at the time I was having no fun. Right. No fun. And so it was many years, I think in my 50s, when I really start really waking up. It was crazy. Mm-hmm. I already knew, but I just couldn't fit the puzzles into the pieces. And being that my mom would make us do like 5,000 puzzle pieces and color and sew and knit. I mean, she was like a freaking genius with a hammer that was hammering us at the nightlight with the Botanica Blue Books and making us learn scriptures, beating our fingers until we learn them, and teaching us how to make clothes and all this and cook and all. There was so much put into me in those 16 years. And then there was so much damage that was put into me at the same time. And then there was so much like, where the hell am I at the same time? That I'm looking at me at 62 years old. I see this little girl that's happier than hell, and nobody's having fun with that.
That was a hell of an intro. So tell me, let's talk about your podcast first. How long have y'all been doing it? What's the content? And how's it going?
Well, it is going. We're working out lots of details. We're not able to do it as professionally and as beautiful as you, Todd.
Listen, everybody
I'm
knows,
sure it took you many years.
Everybody knows this is not a professional platform. It never has been.
Yeah, but it looks great. So no, but we haven't figured out how to go live. And the name of my podcast, our podcast, is The Harmonic Crowns of the Multiverse. First it was the Harmonic Crowns, but I felt like the means the end and beginning, no, and the multiverse. The multiverse. So the harmonic crowns mean the jewels in the multiverse, and each one of us is a jewel. Once we learn our tune and our vibration, we turn into that frequency as a jewel. Those are the jewels in the crown, and we are the crown. But we haven't figured that out yet because we're still in the body, and we think we're in this, whatever this is. Like my friend said, a skin suit. Yeah. We're in a skin suit, and long as we feel like the skin suit is more important than our vibration or our jewel, our vibration can go low and put us into situations that aren't so formidable for our vibrational condition. I say, like, for one, I feel like the world is 75% pessimistic right now. And if they could really look at that, instead of looking at TV or all this other crap, Facebook, and I'm not putting down Facebook, and I'm not putting down any engines, but I hardly ever am on there. I just post and I leave, boom, because I really don't have a lot of time. But there are times when I have like a day off and I go back and I look at people's stuff and I'm like, oh yeah, I like that, yeah. But we're living in a hologramic vibration that has taught itself to deal with different vibrations on a daily, minute by second level, which is a living library. And it's constantly growing its capacity to move without being taken out, because it's a feminine, masculine, goddess, priestess, kingish energy. It's all mixed in one. There is no I am the only one. So we're all here getting our schooling so that we can become the highest vibrational diamond to set in that crown on the day of council, which is the day of, I guess, rebirth, or we go home, or whatever the case may be. But if we can't deal with every vibration that comes in, and if we start getting triggered on any level, then we cannot be a part of the true harmonic crown. And I think all of us at this time are working on that. Because I was told something today while I was sitting by someone that has caused me much anguish. I was told to learn the strength that this person holds to not let stuff bother them like I do. And I was like, huh? I was like,
to not let them bother you, or to not let you bother them.
Not be bothered by
them.
By any of the things that I'm bothered by, but they're not. See, the things I'm bothered by, they're not bothered by.
Time out. Slow down. Take a chill pill.
All right.
Okay. Because we have plenty of time. Let's go back to this subject, which comes up a lot. Okay, I'm not just I'm focusing on you. I'm focusing on myself, and let's also hear what Teri has to say. But for me, this is where it's come down to as we go into this solstice. This is a powerful corridor that we're in. Today's 12/12, and it's massive. I didn't know I was going to be able to make the shows today, but it was that massive last night, and it's been massive. But my point is this. I don't even know whether it's thoughts, words, or actions anymore. And again, I think this is part of our evolution. I'm speaking of the subject that you bring up, and I'm going to bring it full circle. And that is, I don't see how we have the time to get out of our lane anymore.
That's what I'm saying.
So these thoughts and these words and these actions that we take, or these considerations that we take in regard to what those people that are not awake, or those people that this, or those people that, I mean, it's an absolute, it's just a rat race. I mean, you've got this Democrat, Republican on one, you've got Islam and Christianity, you've got Judaism and this and that, and you got all these presentations of division and separation that ultimately come down to the circles closest to ourselves, which would be our spouse, ex-spouse, sisters, daughters, brothers, mothers, fathers, relatives, friends, enemies, whatever. I think the key is, or what it seems to me that's happening now, is the more we get out of our lane, the more shit comes our way, which really, shift opportunities come our way, because they come until we take on what you're describing, which is, I am, it all starts and ends with me. And that's my piece of the puzzle. But I think this type of thing that you're talking about is coming to a head. And I think we're going to have to either shift or get off the pot, all of us. And if there is a bifurcation taking place, then so be it. But one group is not better than the other. If one chooses to stay in the heavier density, then so be it. Okay? If one chooses to go to the supposed higher density, so be it. Because we all know they both meet back up in the middle anyway.
I don't think you got what I was trying to say, though. But
what's that?
Yeah, you're right on that. But what I was saying was the Spirit was teaching me to be as humble as this person that I had been feeling adversity from which was already being healed. I've already seen it be healed to the point where the things that used to bother me don't bother me, and I'm getting joy out of being in them. They said to me, the spirit of my heart said, you see how he's not bothered by all this stuff and blah, blah, blah. I need you to adapt that. Why you're teaching him, he's teaching you. And once you get that strong, you can go to a whole nother level of strength. Because see, watching him, knowing these things don't bother him, that is where you need to be, because we're trying to reach to a higher vibration. And once you get to that level and you're on your level, you mix that magic together, that's sacred lucor, then you're able to really process, wow, we as a collective have become stronger. Sometimes one person moves a mountain. Mm-hmm. One person will move 10,000 people because of their consciousness. That's what I'm saying. See, I'm not looking at myself as a victim anymore. I don't have the victimhood. I don't have time to be thinking from my mind anything negative. Everywhere I go is forward. The pessimism, all those other situations have been already annulled, canceled, and burnt. So my mind future, if I check myself and I see myself instantly, if I get triggered, I can hear the vibration in my ear. It'll change the frequency or whatever. And then I'm like, they're speaking to me. And then I'm like, am I grounded? Do I need to drink water? Whatever. And see, because this form is nothing but a skin suit, but my vibration is everywhere. I'm already everywhere. So I have to become aware that I'm everywhere, so that when something that I don't know that's me comes at me, I don't get triggered by it, because I stay in the fifth dimension and I just flow right through it. So that's what I was trying to say. No one is better than anyone. No one does have it better than anyone. And we do have to accept all of us at one consciousness, because we are the living element, fragment, eternal. That's what we are. We're just a carbon copy of all the fragments all around us that we don't think we see in our 1% through our natural eye. But once you're awake, here and here and here and here.
No, I was actually saying the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I was getting to was when we take it within ourselves and we're accountable and responsible for 100%, 100 fucking percent of our experience, past, present, future, then there's a simultaneous reaction in the type of wisdom that you're talking about that comes in from a physical mirror that you may have had an antagonistic, catalytic relationship with. You start to see from the eyes of the soul. So in other words, let's say we have somebody who's an oppressor, a victimizer. Maybe there's some really nasty, grisly stuff that's involved, and I was a victim, or whatever the case is. You start to have this transformation within yourself. There's a simultaneous reaction. And so now I can put myself in their shoes, and all of a sudden I have this vision into their own Akashic, maybe. This is an example. And I see what happened to them. What created the victim in them? I was talking to a man the other day who had a problem in his early adulthood in terms of physical abuse of his spouse. And then he was telling me, not as a victim, he just said, I didn't realize the connection. My dad beat the living shit out of me and my sister, and so it was an embedded pattern. You know what I mean? I don't know. What are your thoughts, Teri? We haven't heard much from you yet. Let's go around the horn.
Oh, well, there is a lot going on the planet that many are paying lots of attention to and giving lots of the power away to. But what I have found is that what's going on out there has nothing to do with us unless we give it or invite it into our sphere, our space. Okay.
Exactly.
And yes, I too totally agree with you that we do create our own reality. Everything that we encounter, we wrote that script, either consciously or unconsciously.
That's right.
And when we become aware of that, then we can easily just rewrite that story.
That's right.
Rewrite that story.
Right.
And I'll share a brief story with you that I did. It's like Neville Goddard style. If you know who Neville Goddard is, I grew up with my grandparents, my mother's parents, and by then they were kind of mellowed out because they was kind of woo, off the chain when my mother and her siblings were growing up under them. My grandfather was an alcoholic. My grandmother was, oh gosh, she was very, very dark. And in the days in the 40s, to be that dark is not acceptable, right? And she married a man that I think was he mulatto, okay, mulatto, fine, triggered it, ooh, all the women wanted him, But she ended up getting him for, whatever that was. But nevertheless, he came from the South, Alabama, where they drink to drown their sorrows. They're working on the railroad, which he did. And the tools to heal or to transform those traumas was not there back then. So they carried that stuff around. For us today to take that and turn that story around. Well, my grandfather, I remember this so funny. We're all in the kitchen together. My little cousin, my grandmother, and my grandfather. And she said something to him. And he said, "What?" And she says, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about." He said, "Woman, you don't know nothing." And she said, "Wait a minute, let me give me something to hit you with." And she got, and it was funny for us because we was kids. We thought that stuff was funny. At that time, we did not know where that originated. Okay.
Right.
So, and I used to witness some of the little bickering here and there, but it wasn't the outrageous thing that it was when everybody, my parents were kids. My mother and her sisters were kids. But I remembered those scenes. I remembered some of that stuff, and I knew there was some tension. I didn't understand it because I was a kid. Well, at some point, fast forward, in my own healing the child, the inner child work within the past, it started in 2021. And I went to Ohio. It was in Ohio in 2022 to see what, to feel everything. Where did stuff come from? This stuff I have to bring this stuff out and allow it to be seen, felt, and heard and healed. And when I came back from that, I started doing some work on myself. And I remember my grandmother and grandfather's relationship, right? I said, well, you know what? I can rewrite that story. Yeah. So I sat up one night and I told a new story that they're in the kitchen together, having dinner, and they were holding each other's hands and feeding each other from their plates. And just, I love you. Oh, I love you. Oh, and just enjoying and gazing into one another's eyes. And I'm watching them doing this. And I told that story so tough that I started embodying it. I started feeling like they were sitting right there. Well, the next morning, me and my son are leaving our apartment to go out the gate, and the gate's open, but there's this white car sitting there at the gate. And my human self that's in a hurry, that's like, what the hell is this? Why don't they get out the way? And I see it's a white car with 777 on the back of it.
Wow.
And
I've
I said,
experienced stuff like that before.
Wait a minute. This is angels talking right here. And this
couple, back up.
This black couple, this young black couple, was against the car, smooching and stuff, just making out right there in front of everything and everybody. And I'm like, oh my God, I know what that is.
Right.
That's that story I told last night. And I just sat there. They said, oh, we're so sorry. So take your time. We can wait. Because I was relishing that moment. I told that story, and this beautiful young black couple, they're adults. And so finally, the girl goes and gets in her car that's parked next to the fire hydrant. And then the guy, that's the white car, is his car, and he drives off. I'm like, wow, that was beautiful.
Yeah, they work with me like that too, girl.
Oh my God.
The magic is crazy.
But yeah, we can rewrite anything. It doesn't matter what it is or where it came from. And many times we don't have to go back digging up stuff, You just feel it, let it move through, and then tell a whole new story. You can write the story, tell it. I usually write it and then tell it. I go back and forth until it becomes very real and solid to me. And that's how I do it. We have so much power. And
yes, we do.
Playing victims, and because of what the society's doing and what the
I don't give
House
a damn
is doing and all of that thing. And it actually ain't nobody in the house anyway. It's all hard. There ain't nobody in there doing nothing. There's nobody in it. It's vacant.
Right.
So we can look at that and say, okay, bless them. Hallelujah. Right.
Okay. You know that what you're talking about, that rewriting?
Yes.
That's actually a scientific thing now, right?
Yes.
They call it retrocausality. Okay.
Ah.
Now, I haven't dived into it. I've read a few articles my brother sent me. I'd
Mm.
seen the term around, but the whole thing is like one of the things that's becoming very obvious to me. This is my own perspective. I'm not saying it's the gospel, and that is the imagination. Like the imagination, if you go back to when we were little kids and we were playing with our imaginary friends or any other multitude of things that came across through our sensitivities that were repressed and suppressed, and we're told, well, that's not real. That's your imagination. That's a fantasy. But that's a real power. That's the root of it all. And so I really think that's a great example. Even though, in a literal, rational, substantial sense from the linear timeline or the human standalone perspective, you can't prove it. But that's what makes it the subject of the word that Pamela said, I want to talk about magic. That's what makes it magic.
Yeah.
Okay? Because in that magic, there is an unbridled, pure stream of what I call faith, the transitive verb to trust and believe, ultimately in yourself, in your imagination, and your ability to create what you created and then actually see the evidence like, Pamela was talking about. It happens to her too. Well, it's starting to happen to all of us more. I call it physical synchronicities. Pamela?
Mhm. Yeah, I do. This is when I first started out, like 14 years ago. Um, when you pay shamans to work on you, they can be kind of cynical too. So I remember one Richard, he says, stop getting used to saying, I want a parking space and the parking space, and you're happy with that. You haven't gone far enough yet.
Right.
So before I start the hill to come down 3 hills from Berryessa, or even in the middle of the night when they wake me up and they start talking to me and we're talking in other languages, I've already redirected my whole day. From 6 o'clock, it's already done. And I've already redirected my day. So anything that comes in is either a lesson or an event. That's how I look at it. There's no good, there's no bad. There's either a lesson or there's an event. And some events can bring lots of lessons, and some lessons are only a one-time thing. So the other day at 62 years old, I have never hit a animal. I have never hit an animal. I have never hit an animal. And this is crazy because Ariel is one of my avatars, and Ariel has always watched out for me. That's how I found out I was Ariel. And she came into Berryessa while I was driving, and she said, look to the right. And she shows me an animal. It was an owl. It flew across and went into this was at nighttime. And she said, look to the right. There was a big giant fawn. He had these big giant anklets. That's why I have those anklets on my wall in there. His anklets, it was just standing there looking at me, just staring at me. And then the other one, when I went up the hill, was on top of the hill, just standing there looking at me. Look, it's crazy when I drive because I do a lot of freaking work in the grids. And it's like I don't even know. They haven't shown me what a grid is. All they let me feel is the vibration as I drive through. And then I'm like, today I wasn't driving, and this happens every time I go through the second hill. I get sick, like I want to vomit. Like I have to just, I'm gonna vomit. I'm gonna vomit. I'm gonna vomit. So that was my question. We didn't have time to get to that one today, but I'm about to get to it when I finish with you guys. And I'm going to find out what's going on spiritually on that hill. Or there's something going on that when I hit that certain part of that hill, I'm picking up something that is not supposed to either needs heal, or I need to visit there, or I need to get out. I need something. It's going to tell me what to do. This is the kind of magic I live on a daily basis. I never know where I'm going because I'm a recluse, so I kind of stay to myself. But then they'll send me something like my foot been itching this morning. You going somewhere, they sending you on assignment somewhere. Every time I go, it's either somebody needs to come talk to me about a healing, somebody needs to talk to me about somebody or some experience or whatever. And I do what I'm supposed to do, and I never look back. And then later on, somewhere down the line, someone will recognize me and say, hey, aren't you the lady I met at such and such and such? And it's like 7 years ago, 10 years ago, I don't know. And I'm like, oh, oh yes, I remember you. And they were like, oh, you were so funny. You were so nice. And you gave me $50 or, you know, you helped, whatever it was. And it's like, they'll let you see when they sent you somewhere. So once you get to that point, you don't even trip no more. You just flow, or they tell you to go. Oh, I'm not even meant to be here. I'm here. I'm down here or something, doing something. It's just like that. And I know it's like that with all us spiritual beings. I told Teri the other day, we won't need card. We'll just be able to freaking disappear and go to planets from planet to planet, whatever we do.
Absolutely. Let me ask you something real quick on that story. When you started the story, you were talking about you never hit an animal, and then you were talking about going up the hill and seeing a couple of deer. I think they're deer. Did that happen? Did you hit one?
Yes, I hit the animal. It was a deer, but this wasn't the same night they showed me the other stuff. See, all this night before my birthday.
So this was in regard
recently.
Well, this was in regard to what you were talking about at the beginning with a lesson or an event. So you went through this situation where you ended up hitting a deer, and what happened?
And it didn't even destroy my car.
Wow. Okay, and what did you get from it? Like, what was the end result for yourself?
I haven't gotten to an end result, but I noticed that the vibration through my drive has changed. And as well, I got out of the car, even though I'm probably going to be late to work, and I went over there to the deer, and I didn't touch the deer. I wanted to touch the deer, but something said, don't touch the deer.
Yeah.
So I didn't touch the deer. But I thought I saw half of his leg fly across my car. So I was like, oh, I'm like, why would this happen right now? Why are you? Because I'm showing you you're a part of the multiverse. You're part of the multiverse. You are not perfect, Pamela. Yes, this is your soul. You want to be perfect, but I need this to happen to you now to let you know none of this is real. These are all holograms that you're bringing up, and you need to like just go forward. Don't think, am I going to hit an animal? Oh, I looked over before I hit the animal, or the animal hit me or whatever, and there was another deer. I'm like, and I'm looking out for somebody else saying, oh, thank God that car didn't hit the deer, and boom, that's when it happened. So it wants me to stay inside of myself instead of going outside of myself, worrying or thinking or even creating any kind of negative thought at all. Sometimes you get to that level where it's just not feasible for you to even think anything negative or any of that. And once it comes, you just let it go like that. Just blow it out, because you can hurt people. If you don't know how to harness your power, you can hurt people.
Absolutely.
I didn't know that at first until I went through a couple of
events.
Sessions. Yeah, I went through sessions with my shaman, paid, extreme money that I was going out there using my power, and I was hurting people because they weren't ready. They weren't ready. You have to ask for your tribe to come. When your tribe come, you know exactly when it shows up. It'll be so perfect. It'll just like it don't even scare me no more. I don't ask for nothing. I don't need nothing. I'm happy. I'm very happy. And it's scary that I'm happy, because I wouldn't say this maybe 6 months ago. This stuff is downloading quickly. Like I'm seeing the feathers just fall, in place. I mean, I'm getting my wings back, and I already have maybe even acquired a couple more wings. Yeah.
Yeah, you probably have like 72 or 144 pairs. Teri.
Yeah.
Without knowing anything about your history or your journey, but just working off the present energy, just to keep the magic on the surface. I love the way Pamela was talking about this story, because I think it's a great example, and that it's recent, and where she came with it, what she came to. But we've got a solstice coming up on the 21st or 22nd. Today's 12/12. It's a 33 power day, master day.
Yeah.
We've got the I don't know what it is, and I'm not trying to profess that I do, but the 3-eye atlas, at least from a metaphoric standpoint, is going to be in the physicality on the 19th, I think, the closest to the earth that it will be. So we got all this stuff coming down. And like Pamela said, it's moving fast. We're not even close to the same person we were 6 months ago.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's start with Teri, and then we'll go to Pamela. Teri, what do you think we're headed for here? What's going on? What's your take on it?
It is another level of awakening. And this what has it got? 31. What is it? 31?
Well, it could be.
30,
Yeah.
31 Atlas?
31 Atlas, 3-eye Atlas.
Oh wow. 31. Okay. I believe they are witness. I believe they're watching, letting their presence be known. To say, okay, it's here, it's time. Those of you are ready and have let go of that which no longer serves, and you vibrating with us, let's go. Like she said, we're going to be not needing cars and all that kind of stuff no more, because we'll be levitating. We'll bilocating, trilocating, whole bunch of other stuff, which many of us are already doing. But on a whole much higher and deeper level, all the old falls away and we ready. Now there'll be those that are not perceiving, and it's just, oh, look at what's up there. Oh, there'll be that. But then there will be those that's like, oh, I know what that is. Okay, let's go. Let's do this thing. And so we're bringing people together in one space, assisting one another on this ascension path to be ready for the next chapters ahead that are for our greatest good, the greatest good of all the multiverse. And they're all sitting there going, woo, woo, y'all got it, woo. I hear them every day. Like,
me too.
And this is a marvelous, wondrous, obviously magical event that we've all been waiting for, and we've been told about, and we've been feeling it in our bones.
We've forgotten about.
Yes.
We have totally forgotten about the fairies,
and it's here.
And I mean, I'm telling you, and seeing them like all the time. And I called Teri and I said, guess what? I was just having a conversation with a tree and what was in it, and I should tell her what they look like. I've had conversations with my great grandfather in a tree passing by. The vibration I drive through, it changes from color to color. I know the vibration. I'm sitting there. Okay, so what does this vibration mean? What does this mean? What is this? Oh yeah, that was heavy. I'm driving and I'm going through this, and so I'm stronger each day. Sometimes I want to complain. I want to say, well, I'm just tired of this. Can't we just move on to the next level? But they're like, you're building momentum and you have to do it, and we're going to keep you young as long as you need to be young. And we're going to keep you looking good as long as you need to be looking good until you lose the skin suit. And so then let them guess whatever they want to guess. Let them talk and say whatever they want to say. That's not your project anymore. Your project is to become your best friend and love you the way you want to be loved. That's my project.
Absolutely.
So I'm on that project right there. I got a whole bucket list of how to try to make Pamela feel loved by Pamela. Until then, we have no chapters outside of myself that I'm interested in, unless I'm told this is part of the learning process, which I don't feel that would happen because I've already been out there in the wilderness. So I opened the key to my garden and the emerald tablet led me to myself. And right now I'm trying to learn how to love me. Just authentically without even having to see.
I think that I love both of these commentaries. And one of the things that seems to have been on the table, at least all of this year, has been letting go in a physical sense, letting go of jobs, letting go of, let's say, letting go of jobs because of the security they offer, letting go of these basic norms in conventional wisdom. Well, you have to have car insurance, you have to have a driver's license, you have to do this. You don't have to do a fucking thing. Okay. This is part of it. Now, the reason I bring this up is because it feels to me like that we've been letting go. And I don't mean letting go like put up a wall and a boundary and cutting something out of your life, because we know what you resist will persist. We know this now. And what I'm saying is that it's becoming very, very much an embodiment, a requirement or prerequisite. And we go into these narratives and these dialogues with the universe that Pamela's talking about. And we've all done it, and I do it. I still do it. And that is, hey, man, I've already been through this. Oh, really? Have you? Have you really? Or were you further down the spiral and now you can see what you couldn't see before, and we're just showing you another blush of it? Now, there's been a lot of people talk about this year how something showed up and was released for the last time. You can kind of tell, you know what I mean? Yeah. Because then you can talk about the event or talk about the person or talk about the situation, and you don't have a charge. Okay. I'm still going on there, just like you were talking about earlier. And I see, doing my work every day, I see several different things, not to pick on anything in particular. Like I was just reading one this morning by a young woman I respect very much, who's very tapped in, but who's talking shit about men. You know?
Wow.
Yeah. But I'm not picking on her. I'm not picking on her.
I feel you. Yeah,
What
we
I'm
have to come to
saying
zero
because,
tolerance with that.
well, what I'm saying is that these things all are rooted in our personal experience, which is not just unique to this life. It's, we all know, ancestral lineage.
Right.
But my point is that to me, what's happening, particularly in this, because I got a huge download last night, and I can't remember it all, but it was basically you're going into the abyss. You're really going into the abyss of all abysses as we go out this, close out this past year, go into this new cycle. And it's time to walk the talk and not just talk about it. So if there is a connection that you have, mother, father, sister, spouse, child, whatever the case is, job, where you're depleting yourself, where you're bullshitting yourself, where you're rationalizing and substantiating your actions to stay with one foot in and one foot out. The universe is going, and I love what you said about the Atlas thing, because, yeah, we're here. If you're ready, come on. But when you jump over that fence, and again, that's a metaphoric thing. I don't see it as a galactic or whatever. I see it as us. But if you're ready to take that leap, one thing we can tell you is it's not going to be in the space you were standing in. You're going to be released from that, but it's going to require you doing that. And when you make that leap, we can tell you something else. We don't know what's on the other side.
Right. Unknown.
And that's the part that excites me, because ever since I reawoke in 2011, my soul would always tell me, because I'd always said, you know how it is. You get all these downloads and all this information, and you think it's going to happen right now. I just got a download. I'm going to go start a group, and it's going to be worldwide. And 10 years later, you're still busting your ass and trying to make it happen, when you really, it's an energetic message. But the thing that I used to hear all the time was, look, whatever you do, don't do anything you've done before.
That's right.
Now, what's the only thing we haven't done before? And that is to make that leap. And it's an all or nothing proposition. You can't keep your foot on first base. So this is something that I'm seeing in my own experience, in what I witness. It's a very personal thing. It's a very private thing, but it's a very real thing. And to detach, and I believe that the time is coming where, and a lot of people have made certain choices. I mean, I've done it on taxes a long time ago, 20 plus years ago, long before I technically reawoke. Same with the car insurance or several other things where society says you've got to do this or else. I really feel like, and of course, those are superficial issues. Our deepest issues are going to be with those connections that provide the greatest catalyst, the greatest antagonist, those things that we see as narcissistic. This is all us. Even like a term like that, even when we own the narcissistic, okay, as ourselves, okay, that's the kind of prerequisite we've got to make a true embodiment before we can make that leap. And I feel like that's what's happening. It's almost like the universe is the mother bird, and she's pushing us out of the nest. So you better start flapping your wings. You know what I mean? Go ahead. Who's next? Teri, back to Pamela.
I
love that. That was cute. I like that.
Well, you know, Mama don't play. Mama doesn't play. We all know that.
Yeah.
I think there's different levels, though. I think that some people have already been out of the nest when they first got here, so they have to learn how to deal with all the people that are still in the nest. I think there's different variations of the living element, fragment, eternal. I think the energy is different for everybody. You know, just like Buddha, he was born awake. So I think there are a lot of different variations of the streams of grace that are, you know, like, I'll put it in a metaphoric place. All the things I've been through in my 62 years of life, if we were going to get an analyst and we were going to ask IQ questions, would you be there in this place, heart space, like Pamela is right now, with no hatred, animosity, jealousy, envy, or strife, or anything towards anyone that has ever harmed you or things that you've been through? Would you be there right now? Do you think that you could get there at that point right now at her time in life? Would you still be able to still keep walking and dealing with the assumptions and the abuse and the taking advantage of her? Would you still be there where she is right now? And I think that there would be a lot of people that would not be able to say, yes, I could be there. I think a lot of people would say, no, I would have killed that person, or I would have did this or that and the other, or there's no way that I could have taken that abuse and still have a heart of pure, undiluted love. Like I was telling Lavelle on our podcast, people don't understand there are many loves, but undiluted love is 0 point love. That means you have become aware that you are the fabric of energy and you are nothing less but that. So you are really nothing, you are everything, and you are whole. And in that wholeness, you speak your life into existence. I've paid Teri several times to write me scripts, which I've already written myself, but added her script to my script to make it better. And I have achieved those scripts. Now, I'm not a millionaire. Maybe the people I'm around are millionaires, but I'm not a millionaire. So I use my money the best way I can to help people. And so, with that being said, Teri has seen within the last 3 years, maybe 2 or 3 different people. And right now she's seeing a whole nother level of me.
Yeah.
That is kind of astounding to her, but not astounding to me, because I can go farther. And I will go farther. And with that being said, I want to take some people with me, but I'm not going to force them to come. But I'm going to sure be the best damn example I freaking can, all the way down to a curse word. You know, or giving a finger. Yeah, all the way down to that, smoking me a big giant blunt if I want to do that, whatever I want to do, because I'm grown and ain't nobody going to whoop me. You understand? But all the time, kindness is key. And I hold that in my heart, because that's the only reason I'm still alive. And I didn't take no vaccine. I haven't voted ever. So I haven't done any of societally, what do you say, conquest or categories. I don't fit. So why am I going to try to force myself into a 5,000 piece puzzle when I know that I'm more than, you can't even count the number of molecules that I'm made of. So how how ignorant am I going to be? You know.
Well, that was an interesting example you gave when you started talking there about what would happen, if I understood it correctly. So, like, what would happen if I had the experience that I have for 63 years, and I could come out of this one and go into the next one with the same set, the same template, the same characters, the same situations, the same things happen? Would I reach that space that you're talking about? I personally believe this is what we do. I personally believe what happens is we go into the next incarnation. We do have the lessons ingrained within our soul, within our personal akashic, and it's already there, right? And this is why, if you look at it from the Matrix standpoint, it's a reincarnation loop that's set up on the moon, and there's some bad guys, and don't walk to the light and all that stuff. But what is it really? It's really behind it is a soul
What?
that says, I need, the soul says, I need to learn this, 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 and this, or I want to experience this. I want to experience these things that are horrific from a human standpoint. I want to experience these deep, deep, dark emotions, or whatever the situation is. And then we go through it, and we set certain, I guess you would say, like goals or objectives. And if we don't hit them, then I've always believed we start right where we finish. And so there's an element of relax, be in the present, get the most out of it, don't rush. And we all know now by this time, you can't force it. There's just a flow to it. It's not a push pull, it's a glide. You know what I mean? So I think that's a really good point. And then I think another way to look at it too, you mentioned Buddha, and I used to read a lot back in the day before the internet, right? And I've read
I
several
still do. I
different
love to read.
accounts. But if you look at his story, if you look at his story in one context, what you said is very true. He was born that way. But as I've talked to thousands of people on the show over the years, most all of them, when I asked them, have you always been this weird, or did you have a wake up experience? And 95% of them said, I was born this way. Okay. Now, what happened in his life is kind of the same pattern of what I'm talking about as you go from one incarnation to the other. So in his princehood, he had family, he had children, and one day he sits under that tree, and boom, everything changes. So you could say,
Yeah.
that's when he awoke. So it's almost like if you look at all of our lives, Teri's, Pamela's, the thousands of
The
people
same
that come on
story.
the show, yeah.
The
So
same story.
you came in the door with it,
Yeah,
okay,
metaphorically.
and then you come in. Well, you think about it.
Woo!
If you think about it, the stuff that whatever let's say it's the sacred union marriage.
Yes, sir, it is.
Let's say that we came into this incarnation already having that. We may
Yes,
not
sir.
know it, but we have
Yes, sir.
at some level, and many of this has happened since 2012. At some level, we all had the same experience he had. And we have this reawakening, and everything gets turned on. And then the real story starts. This thing about I'm awake, I'm aware, but
The
I really
events
feel
start. There's the events. That's the
Right.
events. Yep.
Right.
Those are them events, boy. And I know you got a lot of them, Todd. I'm waiting on your bestseller to come out. I already seen you in the spirit.
But what I'm saying is I think this happened a year ago on the solstice, but I think it's taken a lot for us to get our feet on the ground because
time is not real right now.
Well, because the whole atmosphere has changed. We've shifted a timeline into another dimension. So what I'm getting at is I feel like we've gotten to the point where you get reawoken. You can say I'm aware. Your consciousness expands. You do the work, the shadow work, the creativity, and now we're entering a stage where we're going. Okay, now so we've all got this in common. What do we do with it? That's the magic that I'm interested in, that Pamela brought up at the beginning. What do we do with this? And this is a great example. 3 of us getting together, spontaneous. We don't have a script, and just start going for it, right? And you show
That's
up.
what I'm doing. You asked me on the podcast, what am I doing? And I'm giving people a free place to land, a soft place to land, to tell their part of it. Why are you doing this as a shaman? Why are you here? In fact, I'd love you to come on. We have people booked all the way till December, but I would love for you to come on. But right at this point right now, it is a deep sacrifice for me. And it's a deep sacrifice for Teri too. So people don't know the whole story, but that's not important at this time. What's important at this time is that we continue even in this difficulty, because guess what? It's already written. I've dreamed it. I've seen it. Right now, what we're doing right now, I've seen it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I told Teri so many times. Mm-hmm. She has listened to me when I'm emphatic. And then later on, she's like, Pamela, you told me. Because I can't stop. This is just purely electronical transmission that comes through the peace that surpasses all understanding. When I have to do roll call, Pamela, are you there? You need to do thus, thus, and thus. And then maybe you can have time for yourself because we're about to change your whole trajectory. But we need you to carry it out. Just like as rebel as you are, we need to show that the example is still president. You can roll this out. You know you don't want to do it. I know you don't want to do it, and we all know you don't want to. But you go do it well, because it's going to be part of your freaking event through your story, through your learning process. And as you process, the whole consciousness is going to process. You're on assignment. Just be quiet and go do it. And that's how it is. Some of us just don't have a choice, Todd.
I don't think anybody does.
I see myself in my dynasties all the time. I look in the mirror and I see my dynasties. And then I come back to this and I'm like, okay, well, why did you do that? They're showing me, you know? So I'm not stuck. I'm not crazy. None of us are.
No.
But they want to put us in this freaking category, but they don't realize the vibration is so high, we don't care. Why should we care? I don't want anything. I don't need anything. I just need me.
Yeah.
So long as I continue going down this vortex of me and learning who I am and loving me and not worrying about the assumptions and all the other stuff of whatever's going on out there, I stay deep in
Right
me.
there. Yeah.
Oh, inside me.
Yeah.
There are times I drive for 30 minutes and go through the trees, watch them sway, watch them turn into stuff, watch them sway at me, watch bishops and dark shadow with swords. And oh God, I'm like driving through a medieval movie practically every day.
Yeah.
So I have no other choice but I'm a galactic, and that's all I know.
Yeah.
All this other earth stuff, everybody's all caught up in. I ain't even bothered by it. I'm not even resonating with it. In fact, I don't even like to talk about it or even see it because I'm not getting anything from that. So I'm on my course, and I'm hoping and praying that everybody is on their course so we can meet this thing head on. When we get there, everybody will be there. We'll all be on our timelines and we'll all fly in at the same time. We won't need a Tesla to drive us there. That's for sure.
Oh my God. Yeah.
My boss just came to me the other day. This man probably makes about $500,000 a year, and told me he just bought him a new Tesla and it drove him from San Francisco all the way, I don't know where in Browns Valley. He said the only time I had to take the wheel is when it got to my house. It was so wonderful. And I just looked at him praising all that. And I just said, oh, I'm so happy for you.
Glad you enjoyed it. Yeah.
I'm glad because
you enjoyed it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. When you're around people that have that kind of luxury, it doesn't even faze you. Why? Because I'm not into it. I'm not into anything like that. I think we can open up things. We can walk through walls, all of that stuff without even having to think about it. We can just say, hey, I want to go downstairs. I'm going downstairs. I'm going to go look at the garden while we're down there. Or, when I'm in meditation and I go outside of Mother Earth and I see the planets holding hands and I'm down, on this, like, I don't know what it is, like a chariot looks like. looks like a chariot. And I see like four of the main people that I know on that chariot, with me. And the most intelligent ones that I think are the most brightest, they were on the lower level. The one I didn't think that was the most brightest was up there on top with me. I didn't see separiums, trees that are men standing there guarding the garden. They're guarding the interior world where the portholes are at. I'm up here where a lot of freaking portholes are at. And I told Teri, look, boom, that's going down, boom, and right in back of my yard. Mm-hmm. Let me tell you something. This is a mission. This is not a joke. Mm-hmm. Ain't none of this a joke right now. We are not here to play. This is some serious energetic work that's happening. And as we walk into this beautiful, blissful, unidentified object, commanded each part of our ship, we are the communications director for each part of our ship. Mm-hmm. So we are in our communications in every single level of our ship, making sure that everything is communication. We won't have a problem. But when it start discommunicating, we got a problem, Sam. Time to either go do some meditation, ground yourself, drink some water, go without food, whatever it takes. We are on a trajectory right now. Yeah. And it's moving fast. Yeah. So anything that's not serious or really doesn't need to be said or really doesn't need to be thought or really doesn't need to be acted out or really doesn't need to be judged or really doesn't need to be labeled. I know it's trying to be nice. I was trying. I was nice, but I wasn't, but I was. So they're sitting over there looking at me like, yep, Pamela. And hey, I probably got a lot more to lose than a lot of people because my son's a bishop, all of my grandchildren, everybody that knows me for many years. And, hey, and then they just saw me recently, so they know I'm not crazy. So I would advise everyone to either start watching Todd's videos or some of the people that he knows videos, or go and watch Ishmael Perez or, some of who else? Joe Disponzio, or, I would, advise them if they really don't really know and they really are searching because they can't get in themselves good enough. They need someone to give them direction for free. These are the people they should go to for free because see, all this pay stuff is okay. It's all right. It's good. I understand you got to get through it to get to it. But we almost coming to an end with that. Because once we go to the vibration, it's not going to be about paper money or any of that. It's going to be about being able to be compatible with the energies that we have not been connected to within centuries and eons. Mm-hmm. Those energies will come in, and then all of a sudden you'll have a pain in your body. You think you're sick. But no, they're trying to communicate with you because now I've got different elements in my aura. These things say, sometimes they talk to me just lights, beams. It's amazing. But I can't have these conversations with daily people that I'm involved with because who knows? I'm not even going to speak anything into existence that would happen because I know I'm divinely protected, so ain't nothing going to happen. But these conversations are very rare when you have these conversations with people you care about or people you admire. So on the real Todd, time is moving so fast, we can't even emulate the think down to a second or millimeter of what's going to happen next. All I'm doing is I'm just welcoming all the positive energy and saying, thank you. Oh, thank you for Gracie. The birds are just coming up to the car, just there's a smile. Oh, you're so hot. Oh, thank you. I love you too. That's what's happening around me. So I really don't have time to be thinking negative about nobody or nothing. And I don't have time. And then with working and the podcast and then everything else, and then, doing my present, loving everybody, it's a lot, but it's not because it's so simple. It's just like it comes to me. I'm doing my affirmations in the night. I'm doing them in the morning, get on my shake machine, drink my green juice, whatever. And, making dedication to myself. Like I said, my mission right now is loving me. That means if I do something that I don't like towards somebody else, I'm checking myself. Pamela, I don't like what you just said to that person. You need to find out why. Yeah, because I don't like that part of you right there. I know that you're good, but what was that made you say that? So you need to go in there and fix that real quick and see what's going on. Yeah. So that's how me and Teri communicate back and forth. I'm sending pictures of things, dragons. Teri, tell them some of the pictures and stuff I didn't.
Oh God, vortexes, dragons, some of the other
Diamond
stuff. Oh,
cities.
people just in the trees, beings in the trees. Oh yeah, what was that one that you with all the greenery and the lights coming
Diamond
in?
City. Yeah, you saw
That's
that,
what you.
right?
Yeah,
That's at my
yeah,
job. I'm not telling you
yeah.
nothing. That whole every place they send me is a porthole. I'm telling you, I walk through the halls and the whole hall, once I walk through it, just disappears and goes to and then this is a question Todd asked me today. So just say you're driving along this road right here and it disappears. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna get scared? I said, no, I'm gonna keep driving. Whatever, I'm still going forward. So the energy means I'm going forward. Why would I get scared? These are the questions they ask me, Todd. They come in trees, they come in vortexes. I got one standing in my kitchen right now. They know that I see them. I don't need my glasses to see them because their vibration is going. Yeah. So before, when I was like, what is this? Is this strange? Let me put some salt outside the door. You burn some alcohol in my house. I still smudge. That's good. But my heart is entered into a place where I think that I'm living the Emerald Tablet right now. It's like I feel that. I see the golden key that has opened it. And I see everyone around just relaxing while they're protecting me and they want me to relax more, a lot more.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they see that I have this kingdom on my back. They know. It's heavy, but as I learn to maneuver, it's not so heavy.
It's happy, but it's not so happy.
No,
is that what you said?
She's heavy. She's a heavy.
But it's not so heavy.
It's heavy, but it's not so heavy. Yeah. No, I get that. I've had obviously a lot of people come on this show over the years, and everybody has their own. What the hell's going on with that? Everybody has their own experience, and for years, people would send me comments or messages or emails, and in the spirit of the conversation, they would make reference, and we've all been there. Oh, I'm not like those people. They can do this or they can do that, or they see things, and I don't see some of the things you see. But the fact is, it's all out there, and we're all getting it. It's coming in different ways, and I think what she said earlier is an important step that I've seen a lot of people make that step, which is where they go from what is that? Oh my God, it's something that's a threat or a potential power over me. And you put the salt out and you get the chicken feet and the powder and whatever you need to do to ward off, get garlic, whatever. And you make that leap and realize that it's part of the landscape. It's just that it's coming into our visible light spectrum now, and it's becoming more available because of our growth and our evolution as far as our sensitivities go. What are your thoughts, Teri?
I believe we're all multifaceted aspects of God. And just like there are basket weavers. Not everybody is a basket weaver, but that's their forte. Not everybody is musicians or journalists, but everybody has a part to play in the grand scheme of this oneness that we're being prepared to enter into. So I like to watch everybody, and I just not from a place of jealousy. If there's something that they're able to do that I might not be able to do at this particular time, I just like, ooh,
yeah,
do that. And as I am focused on that, then something happens and I'm able to do it.
Yeah.
We are shapeshifters.
That's the magic.
We are shapeshifters. So anything we want to experience, boom, just observe it. And it's Star Trek, on the holodeck and stuff like that, it downloads into our circuitry. I'll tell a quick story about when I was a little girl, between the ages of 4 and 10, I used to hear a voice say to me, "You are the one." And I would look around the room and I'd be like, okay, I'm the one, what, and who are you? This went on, you are the one. Well, somebody just tell me the one, what? And then fast forward, I was having a talk with my mother when she was living with me and my son. My son, she came from my son's birth, actually, from Ohio to California. And I felt like I needed to have some kind of a talk with her and share what I had been experiencing. It was like, whatever, what you call it, axes you need to grind or what you need to let go of right now, talk to mom about it now, right? So I said, look, I told her, what I was hearing. And she said, well, you are the one. I said, well, what is that? She said, you are the one. You are the Messiah of our family. The buck stops here, and you're the one who's going to change it all. And it'll pass down to my son, on my son, who he will continue in the way. And she used that term, the way. I said, where did that come from? Later on, I found out where that came from. I saw it online. But I thought, why didn't you ever tell me? She said, I didn't know you were hearing them. But good thing you were. I was like, okay. And she was right. I'm the one that rewrites the story, and my family becomes harmonized. The ones that are still alive call me because I've done some rewriting of the story. And now we share all kinds of beautiful stories and energies. My own father, that I'd never talked to a whole lot. And I rewrote the story about us and him and my mother when I was in the womb when they got married. And it shifted the whole thing. And so now we're talking all the time about anything and everything that wasn't happening before. So yeah, and the galactic thing, yeah, I've been doing a lot of work with them, lately. And one morning I'd come out to make breakfast for my son after I'd been in there talking to him, and there are all these things, and I went into in my mind, I was gonna say, are you ready? And that's not what came out of my mouth. Some kind of galactic language came out, and I heard myself. I'm like, he said, yes. My son said, yes. Okay. He understood what I just said. Wait a minute. I said, you understood what I just said? I said, you understood what I just said? He said, yes. I said, what did I say? I said, you asked me if I was ready.
Wow.
I'm like,
yeah,
okay.
Synchronizing. Wow. That is like, okay. Deep, Teri.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. So it's, yeah, it's all available, whatever it is, and anything we want to experience. And we see someone else doing it. You just hone in,
right?
And then it just downloads, just like the Matrix. Remember when? What was her name? She said, I need a program for a helicopter pilot.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I love that part.
Trinity.
Yeah, Trinity.
The three, right. The Trinity. Right. Yeah. I need a program for a helicopter. Helicopter. Okay, and then she was able to fly. Okay, rescue everybody. Let's go. Okay. So it's all in there. It's just all in there.
That's gonna be me one day, and it's already happening.
You're already doing
it. It's gonna be me because it's already happening. And Teri's helping me. See, all the people in that movie had partners, people that they trusted. It was a bond.
Yeah.
See, that's what we as a spiritual community need. We need all these people to bond together and stop acting like my modality's bird. I'm not talking to you. I'm not gonna touch you. See, that's the crap right there. That is the toilet seat. We need to stop. Because the time is moving too fast for the ignorance.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You never know one day to another whether your brother and sister's going to need you in some kind of form or fashion. It's good to stay connected. I'm gonna tell you something. The people that I have on my podcast, I've been knowing them for years. They know me when I was like the one that wasn't the one. I was like Neil.
Neo, yeah. Yeah.
So now I'm not Neil. I'm still Neil, but I'm Neil 0.5, you know. And, you know, everything in my life is synchronized. Even my phone number for I don't know how many years is 333. Same number, 333. My birthday, 10/16/63. 10, 9, 16, 7, 6 and 3, 9. I'm from the ninth council. I'm from the seventh chapter. Yes, because once you get into yourself and you start to see, they start to show you these qualities about your kingdom priesthood or your venture in the galacticness, when then galactic people start coming to you as peasants, acting like they're poor. You're the kind when they knew it was going to introduce them and bring them into your house and let them eat out of cans and all kinds of stuff. And then your inner work was being processed because you were allowing things that you knew that you would never allow, you never were taught to do. And that's what the lesson was for me today, was that all these things that you know that aren't about you, you need to process them in a positive way instead of looking at them in any kind of negative way. And you're going to gain some salt out of that that's going to keep you resonated. Yeah. You know, keep your pores open, baby.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm enjoying this beautiful rendition of Get Back to Living. You know, get back to living again. Yeah. We can have fun. Teri told me 2 or 3 years ago, Pamela, if it ain't fun and you're doing it, then you're not living. You're not doing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. If it ain't fun, then, you know.
Yeah.
Because God wants to have fun. And the book I'm reading 4 books right now, but the other book that I'm reading about Conversation with God, and he says a couple of things I'm going to bring up, and I'm going to go on my way. Or whatever you want to do, Todd. But he says, do you think as God, I would make a body that would deteriorate or that wouldn't be good enough to sustain you for the whole point of your life? No, it's the things you do to your body. Alcohol was never made for the body. He said, well, alcohol's in medicine. Well, that don't have nothing to do with me. That's the doctor. That's the way he feels about it. But me personally, I stand on what I say. Alcohol was never made for the body. He said, and then, yeah, you said you've been so consciously trying to seek me. But let me tell you something. This whole 21 years that you say you were seeking me, you haven't done deep enough down in there to even seek me. Are you really seriously sitting here? I'm arguing with God. No, well, if you're God, why don't you show yourself? Why don't you show yourself who you are? I've shown myself all over the place. I'm showing myself now because it's you. Every time I do show myself, you expect me to come into a certain kind of image or a certain kind of thing. You don't even understand that I am God, I'm goddess. Mm-hmm. There's some deep stuff in there. It even talks about how we think about sex and marriage and how we think that we're supposed to be dedicated to people and all this. I never asked you. I gave you the body for a tool to have fun. It's up to you if you want to use it in the wrong mentality. But if you want to, you are not ball and chain to nobody. No, you owe nobody nothing but yourself. Love yourself first. And everything that you love about yourself will come to you and you won't have to ask for anything. Mm-hmm. That's what's happening to me now. That's where I'm at now. Right. I'm not asking for nothing. I'm just living the love that I have for myself. Mm-hmm. And everything is just coming to me. Every so often I question, who is that, you? But yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I love you, Todd. Yeah.
Nice rolls here.
Yeah.
Nice streams. God. You said something there. Well, let's throw it over to Teri and then back to Pamela. We got about 9 minutes.
Okay.
And Yeah, just keep rolling with it. You guys are doing fantastic.
Oh, let's see. And yeah, back on taking care of the body. Like she said, our body was never created to decay. That came with the fall of consciousness. Our bodies were created to live for as long as we like to stay in them. And what we're doing, the environment, actually, the environment many times is not conducive. But however, we do have the power to transmute that so-called poison to where it does not harm us in any way, shape, or form as we continue on this ascension path, raising our frequency and our body transforming into light, where we are able to do anything, go anywhere, do anything, see anything, everything. Many are afraid of that because they don't want to be responsible for that information and for embodying that when that is actually our true nature. So we make sure we ground ourselves because we are living in 3D, but operating from a 5D consciousness. So we still must take care and nurture the body and listen to what it's telling us. Eating the right foods, whatever that may be. You may be vegetarian, vegan, whatever it is. But to listen to the body and listen to how the cells communicate with one another and they're in harmony and they're speaking to you. Put this in me, please. I need this for fuel and not that. And not that, please. We can better carry God around in these vessels when the vessels are strong and able to hold the light that's coming in. Since the codes are all waking up inside of us, the DNA's already been activated. Boy, the body ain't healthy enough. You be laying over on the roadside somewhere because it can't handle it. So that's my thing, taking care of the body. Go into the gym if you like to go to the gym. Do some, Pilates, whatever it is that your body resonates with. Some people don't like the gym. Some like to go outside and do yoga and take their barbells and stuff out there because of the fresh air. I do that too. But I also love the environment of the gym with the barbells, the music, and the saunas and all those beautiful things. Make you feel real good.
She learned that from me. She knows she learned it from me. Well, I don't know if she's trying to fade.
All right. So, and then doing that with people that you love, people that you love to be around. I got a really good friend every Saturday. We go to the gym, me and her and my son. She's my son's respite caregiver. She takes him and trains him on the machines, and we have a blast. And then we leave from there and we go and have lunch.
It's fun.
And we lay out on the front lawn in
the
sun.
It's fun. Yes, it's fun.
And tell stories and talk to the trees and do incantations and stuff. And
that church that you go to by the beautiful church that you go to by there.
Yeah, Center for Spiritual Living in Granada Hills. I'm a member there, and I go when it's holidays and fun things. Yeah. But right now, I'm more into raising this and fortifying this.
Yes, and they've been on me about that too. Because I've been so busy, I haven't really been able to get to my routine, but they're telling me calisthenics. So
they're
telling me calisthenics.
Yeah.
Because I have to reserve my energy.
And dancing is fun. She just signed up for a dancing course. I almost signed up for it too. Chakra dancing. Yeah, I loved what I saw. Yeah. Anything to be happy, keeping the body happy, so you can carry God. Yeah. We are the Ark of the Covenants. We carry the Ark of the Covenants everywhere. And people they don't know what they're seeing, but they know they see a bright light. They go, "Oh, how are you? Oh, I like to talk to you." They don't even know you.
Be affected by the way
they don't even know you, and they're like, "Oh." Animals come up to you. I've got that. Animals follow me down the street.
Children start talking to you that they never talked to nobody before.
Yes.
Crazy.
And giving you gifts. One little girl gave me an art piece. So I was in the library. She gave me an art piece. I would like you to have this. I'm like, oh, okay. I still have it now. So, but it's really important, to keep the Ark of the Covenant in tip top so we can do what we came to do. Baby. Yeah. That's my last word for the moment.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And she can sing, but
yeah, I've done that all my life, basically. Yeah, that's
me too as well.
It's music.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Maybe we should end with the two y'all doing a duet. How about that?
When we come back on the next show, we will. How's that sound? When we come back on the next show, we will. Because it's been like I go 24 hours without eating. So
you do?
Teri knows
I was
that.
gonna say that sounds like a deflection to me.
Oh, baby. Okay, Teri.
I'm a few bars.
Okay, do a few bars. Let me wait. You remember the song I sung last night?
Which was it? Tell me
Hit a
again.
little bit of that. Hit a little bit
I
of
believe I
that.
can fly.
Yeah, I believe I can fly. I'll hit it and you come on. I believe I can touch the sky. And
Think
every
about it
night
every
and
night and
day, I spread my
spread my
wings and
wings and fly away.
fly away.
I
I believe
believe
we
I
can
can
soar.
soar.
Come on, baby. I'm
I
walking
see me
through that
running through that
open
open
door.
door.
I
I
believe we can fly.
I
I believe we can
believe
fly.
um, fly. Yeah.
Holy shiitake mushrooms, man.
I like
Far
shiitake mushrooms.
freaking out. Yeah. Far freaking out. Wow, that was dope. That was so dope. That was so dope. Yeah. Yeah, I tend to nudge people a little bit, but that was well worth
We
it.
love it, Todd. Nudge
Yeah.
me. Because you know what? The more you nudge me, the better I'm going to be. Because I know it's only coming from a real person
Yeah.
that's really loving
Yeah.
and caring. You know, I don't believe you have a harm in your body 100%. Nowhere in there. You know,
Thank you.
I
Thank
would
you.
never do anything to harm you in any segment because, you know, it's just like, why do we as people want to harm each other? Is that kind of reflection of some kind of power trip we're on? What is that about? I
That's
mean,
the pin
if a
Yeah.
game.
person hurts you and they come back and they say, from the bottom of my heart, I truly ask you for your forgiveness because they didn't know or they didn't see if they hurt you, then at that time you should totally drop
Yeah.
it.
That's different. Yeah. That's
Three or
right.
four times they had did it. But if they said
Yeah.
from the first time you come back and say, and then they say to you, that's not meeting the requirements that I'm asking you. What kind of shade is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know what? I was talking to someone about this last night or the night before. Even sarcasm, you know, we make sarcastic jokes, and even that's going away. Like, because there is an element of meanness in it.
Yeah.
And I don't care who it is or what
1%,
it is.
yeah, it could be
Yeah.
99%,
So,
and
I
person
mean,
wouldn't even know. Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
this is like that leap that I was talking about earlier. It's coming down to this, you know, and I know it is, you know, I know it's coming down. I don't know what it's going to look like. I don't know
None
if
of us do, Todd. None of us
right?
do. None of us
I
do.
mean,
But
somehow or
I feel
another,
like we're going back to our original avatar, truthfully. But I think they're going to all be merged in one. We won't just be that, you know, Bodhisattva or whatever. We'll be merged in, or either something. I don't know. I can't even tell you, but I think we have a choice. Because I'm going to tell you truthfully, I've already asked for the original avatar that I want to go back to. I've already spoken into the universe and said, hey, the one universe when I was in there and I was doing all the greatest work and I was up there and had all the eyes and all the hands and didn't have a body, you know, and I was leading people through life. That's where I want to be. I want to go back to there. I apologize that I asked the universe to be a body, 2 arms, 2 legs, and 2 feet. I apologize for that. And, you know, I'm going to walk through that and I'm going to keep my head up high. But I truly like my first image, the first image that I was before, you know, all the other stuff was created. So, yeah.
well, have you ever thought that maybe you're doing the exact same thing that you were doing, but you're in a body and you just haven't become
That's
consciously
exactly
aware
what
of
I'm
it?
doing. But my hands is coming out of my mouth now, and people can't handle that.
It's okay. It's all right.
It's putting a lot of
Hey, it's all
woo.
right. Hey, listen, I've heard a lot of people talk about that. Oh, you know, I don't have a filter anymore. You know what? I think the example that you just gave a minute ago is so important because look, we have a choice. We can either continue to operate and navigate suppressing our voice because we didn't want to make a mistake. We didn't want to piss somebody off, whatever the case was, when actually it was counterproductive. And now we're starting to have this no filter thing, and it's causing a few ripples. Now, does it mean,
You right,
but you know what I mean?
baby. Right.
But does it mean just because it's my truth and it came out of my mouth like the babe, you know, the mouth of the babe, right? Doesn't mean it was all right. but it's better to let it come out and then to go through that template that you brought up. It's so important. It's one
There's
thing
no wrong or right. So
well,
if a person is triggered by what you say and you're in your purity.
Yeah.
Okay.
But here's the thing. Okay. Here's the thing. Okay. If you know it created something in that other person.
Okay.
Well, let me not even put it that way. You went through this. You went through this earlier in the show, and you said, "Hey, when I say something, and then I say, why did I say that?" Well, at the time, it was your truth, and you were putting your best foot forth. But what I'm saying is, you then went back to the person and said, "Hey, this is what I think is so important. We get these epiphanies and revelations about ourselves. It's so important to go to if it's a situation like that, go to that person and say, "Hey, listen, I'm sorry."
I do that all the time.
Now here's the thing.
I am. I've been that way all the time.
There's a lot of us that have been in relationships where, because it's part of the curriculum, where the other person never says it. Okay. Could be our mother, could be our brother, could be our sister, could be whoever, whatever. It's and we've all done this. We've all went and admitted and made that admission to this type of energetic personality that's a physical representation of an energy, right? And we've done that, and to be able to do that without expecting anything in return is a powerful move, I believe. So I think there is. You mentioned the responsibility, accountability earlier. I think there's something to be said for the codes that are being turned on in us, because with those codes comes a greater responsibility. And so I think a lot of these things are kind of anchored into the grid, are turned on within ourselves, are shared through the very mundane human efforts that we don't historically have not wanted to F with. I don't want to go there. I'd rather go down and, go down for a walk or do something else. Now, I'm not saying that it has to be done that way. What I'm saying is that I think it's extremely important to admit our deficiencies, our epiphanies and revelations that have now shown us where our weaknesses, and now they become strengths. But they become strengths, even greater strength, because we share it. And I think, the way I'll close my end out is, I believe that the greatest downloads that we're having, period, end of story, are coming from each other. They're coming from, they're coming from being an open vessel, that covenant of the ark, sharing it with each other, because it's kind of putting everybody on the same playing field. Everybody has to tie their shoes. Everybody has to put their socks on, and get a lot of other
or not.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I'm just saying everybody. Okay, you said something earlier, and we were talking about the Buddha thing and the human thing, right? I had a friend who's transitioned. One of the sharpest dudes I've ever met. Right? His name was Earl, and he used to say, as long as you're in the body, you're subject to the human condition. So as long as we're in this space, because let's face it, if one of us hits 100% like a tuning fork, everybody's going to go off, like the 100th monkey thing, right? The tipping point, right? So there is a great value to this drudgery and this human condition and the programming and all the traumas and all the BS and going through this whole evolution. The real gold is through the journey that I know I have, that I've overlooked things. I'm like, oh, I didn't really stop and smell the roses there. Oh, I didn't see, wow, I wouldn't be who I was if I didn't go through that. Pamela, you talked about this a lot on the first show we did together. So yeah, I'm the biggest cheerleader of the human. I have the greatest optimism about what we're stepping into. I believe we're already in it. I will just say this to myself, because that's what I'm hearing. Stay on your toes the next 10 or 12 days. Watch your P's and Q's. If you have a
Don't hurt yourself.
Right. Don't hurt yourself. If you have a projection, pull it back. If you need to apologize, apologize. It doesn't matter what the other person or the other thing has to give you back to make you validated. It's just be you to the core, man. And I just want to say to both of you beautiful ladies, several people, by the way, said you have beautiful voices, and I totally agree. So we're going to have to do something with that on the Soulogy Network platform.
Do you think, Todd?
But I just want to say thank you both.
We want to hear you. We want to hear you. Next time we come on, this is what I want. If I can request it. So I'm gonna speak this into existence. I would like you to do one of your raps. And then
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe he raps.
because
Yeah.
he has some good stuff, though, that can really pop off the energy. You know what I'm saying? Because
no, I'm totally into it. What the three main shows that over the years have been this show, right? That's been the main one. Then there's kind of a music show, which we still do once a week now. But we had another show. Well, we had another show. That's not
Teri on that music show.
Yeah.
She shows out.
There was variations, and one of them was an open mic that was music oriented. So it was kind of like, I'll just put a post up, with a day's notice, and
good.
like 6 or 8 people will join us on the Zoom room, and we'll just kind of have like a drum circle, but it'll be with music. It'll be whatever somebody wants to bring. And then you have ensembles and duets, and it just happens naturally. So
we love that, Todd. That's what I'm talking about. That's so much.
Yeah.
No, we're definitely getting into that. Definitely
good, because I know.
You guys, I mean, seriously, no, this has been fantastic. I have got to get to a meeting though, and
yes, you do. You back to back today.
I just, a little bit today. I didn't realize. Yeah, well, I had to.
I hope you eat something, Todd. I felt that earlier. Yeah. Please take care of your body, and know that you are not alone.
Yeah,
I might not be able to be as interactive as I am all the time because my job is very demanding.
Yeah,
I work.
I see you out there. I see everybody out there.
Yeah, I work at the data center that holds all the information for all of Kaiser Hospital. Wow. And I am one of the security administrators there. So when I'm walking through and I'm sending light through those different data things to the people that need healing, there are a lot of people that are being healed while I'm on duty. So those 5 days are very, I wouldn't say draining, but I do have to come back and I have to lay down. I went to bed at like 5 something last night and wake up till 1 o'clock or something in the morning and went back to sleep because I'm walking through there doing the violent fire prayer the whole time I'm there. And so the violent fire prayer is going out and they're going into those files. They're going into those people's data files, some in the hospital, some in, what's the emergency room?
ICU.
Yeah, ICU. Some is in other places. But what I'm trying to say is that's my assignment right now. Plus keeping up with the podcast, plus doing what I do at home, plus doing what I do with my dogs, plus doing what I do with myself. I have a big giant line to keep me busy right now. And I have to incorporate some more stuff because they want me to get back into my guitar. They want me to get back into my keyboard. They want me to get back into recording music. They want me to get back into doing my own thing. So I have a lot going on, but I will take out time for you anytime in any day. You are elite. I put you on the top pedestal of the elites of the elite. And I don't mean like elite, like I praise you or anything. I just feel like real people need to be with each other. Me and Teri, we stay connected as much as we can. She's very busy as well and has a genius son. So, I mean, she's got a big, giant plate too. But we honor you, Todd. We honor you. And I'm trying to get Ishmael Perez to come on my podcast. I'm trying to get in touch with him. Or Billy Carson, but I don't know them like I know all the other people that are like Billy Carson and that are like Ishmael Perez. I know a whole lot of people out there that are just as powerful as they are. So yeah.
Well, this has been a powerful episode. I think I burned about 2,000 calories. That's a good. No, I'm serious. I'm sweating, but I've been a little.
Yeah, I'm sweating too. Yeah.
I've been under the weather, so
I finally came down out of the atmosphere and started bringing the heat back down because I'm telling you, I was up there and I don't know what dimension.
Until the next time, and let me just let everybody know, the next show today is going to be I can't think of, like 5 hours from now. It'll be the Soul Ghost Hunters radio show. Okay. We got some more. I'm about to schedule the weekend. I think there's 5 or 6 more shows I got to put up for the weekend. Okay. And thank you, everybody. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you
for
so
coming
much.
in. I look forward to the next time we get together. And
absolutely. This was fun.
I'll offer something. I don't know if I can compete with those 2 beautiful voices, but I'll give it my best shot.
Well, I know you got that drum still. You can pop, pop, pop. I love that drum. So do that.